Welcome to Managing Conflict. My name is Mervyn Murray and I'm here to talk to you about managing conflict, how we can deal with conflict in the workplace and deliver exceptional performance for our teams and organisations. Next Level Training UK is a social enterprise which is dedicated to serve people's development needs both here in the UK and in Africa. We are a platform for to raise the hopes and aspirations for everyone. We 50% of our profits go to our social goals, um, and we've been going since October 2020 in the teeth of the pandemic, and we hope to grow throughout Africa and within the UK too. My name is Mervyn Murray. I've been 20 years in people development as a coach and facilitator, running training and coaching workshops around the world in organizations both large and small, from the oil industry to pharmaceuticals, telecoms, manufacturing, third sector, national and local governments too. All right, so we're here today to talk about conflict and how conflict escalates. And I also want to leave you with a process for facilitating a dispute. And if you do this, you will effectively deal with the dispute and really drive up understanding and commitment of the team as well. And also, I'm going to leave you with some specific actions that you can take. So, what is conflict? And there is no actual one definition of conflict. There are various definitions of conflict. But what we can say is that conflict is a reaction to a perceived threat to self-worth. What that means is that people are willing to go into conflict about things that are important to them. We call those conflict triggers. And also we can see, when we see conflict in other people, we can discover what's important for them. So basically, when our needs aren't being met, that's when conflict tends to occur. Here's the conflict escalation model. And as you can see there, it goes from discomfort to crisis, through incident, misunderstanding and tension. And of course, the only time that management really knows that there is an issue is when there's a crisis. But if we could get there before, i.e. when we recognize rising tensions between factions or groups, perhaps that's when we should step in and to facilitate understanding and develop uh, relationships that are effective. Excuse me. But there are positive effects of conflict. We know that conflict drives innovation, drives change, and it also drives up communication and understanding after the conflict. People that are passionate about their work will be demanding, and therefore there's conflict or potential for conflict. And high performing teams have cooperation and conflict as one of the building blocks of their performance. What do people actually need? Well, there are four things that people really need to get things done, to get things right, to get along, and to be noticed. If I want to get things done, what I really need, what I really want is control. If I'm got things in control, then things are going to get done. If I'm in the get it right mode, then what I really want is accuracy, get it right. To get along, what the person there really needs is approval. Because if I'm making a decision that will lead to your disapproval, then that will be a bad thing for me. However, if if I'm got other people in mind, then I'm seeking their approval before moving forwards or making a decision. The final one to be noticed is appreciation. That's where the person puts themselves out with their ideas because they want to be appreciated for being them and for their ideas too. All right. So, what facilitating a dispute? One of the best ways of doing that is to meet with people individually to get a high level understanding of what's going on for them. Unite people with a common goal. So now, once you've met with people individually, you get them in a room. I would get a flip chart pad and paper and write up the common goal. You know, we're here for in the best interests of our customers, or we're here in the best interests of our team. Whatever the uniting factor is, write that up so that you can point to it when things get a little off track or whatever. Putting the common goal up there focuses everybody's minds, and now you've got people who were like that and now headed kind of in the same direction. Which is really what you want. And then you're going to outline the process that I'm going to give you now before proceeding. And the process that you should run with is this. Person A talks whilst person B listens. When person B has finished talking, person A has finished talking, excuse me, then person B can ask questions to clarify. Then when person A agrees, yeah, that's correct, that's what I mean, now you've got some understanding. And person B has summarized what person A's position is, and now you've got some understanding. And then you switch the roles. And what I've found in my experience is once you get past the first part of this process, you tend to get the walls dropping, crashing down, and all the defenses come crashing down, where people kind of go, look, yes, this has gone a bit too far. And I now understand that perhaps I was a bit too quick to shout or raise the stakes, as it were, and you get some common understanding. There are some guidelines, though, to make this work, and they are this. Be prepared to be a referee. Be prepared to go, no, you can't say that, because you don't want any personal attacks. You don't want justification or defending or attacking. Any of those things, and you go, no. Or people want to jump in whilst one other person is talking. You go, not your time to talk. Allow person A to talk. Your role is to listen, and you can ask any clarifying questions when they finish speaking. At the end of the meeting, what you should be getting to, the point you should be getting to, because your role is to repair the relationship, is how are we going to work together in the future to make sure that this doesn't happen again? That's the key question. And once you've got those rules written down, then now is the time to make some dates about follow up. And I would say follow up in a week's time, and then perhaps 2 weeks after that. And then, if it's a particularly bad case, 3 weeks after that. So that's 6 weeks after the initial meeting, 1 week, and then a further 2 weeks, and then a further 3 weeks to follow up. And your role at these meetings is just to be cheerleader, say thanks everyone. You're doing a really good job. I notice how well you're getting along together. And these are really short, sharp meetings, unless things really still are off the rails. And then you've got the chance to put people back on the rails again. All right. So that is our guide to facilitating a dispute. And I hope you found that really helpful. But I do want to leave you with 3 more actions that you can take to help with your conflict management. One nip it in the bud. So regardless, if you've got conflict in your group today, regardless of how big or small it is, address it now. You know, the Chinese have a saying, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So attack it as soon as you can, uh, nip it in the bud, deal with it now, because it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get worse. Think about triggers, think about those words and phrases that perhaps are triggering people, that are unnecessary, and try and avoid those. And also think about conflict as a platform to initiate change. All change comes from some form of discomfort. We don't feel comfortable with change, because there is an inner conflict. Our comfort zones are wonderful places where nothing grows, and we want to pull people out of their comfort zones. And conflict and comfort zones don't match. They don't, you know, they don't get together too often. And there's a good reason for that, and that is because conflict is good in terms of growth. It's the grit in the oil that helps everything work. All right, okay, that's been our short taster session today. This has been a recording of the live session that we had, where it's much more interactive. We've edited it out to be more palatable in terms of YouTube. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please go across to nextleveltraining.co.uk. We're on LinkedIn and we're on Facebook and YouTube, of course, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much indeed.